What? Where the fuck am I?
Hello, Neves. I want to play a game.
Oh shit. It's one of those saw traps. Oh, these skits are getting way too complicated, man. Jeez. Nathan, you didn't tie my arms.
Oh, fuck. I forgot. Can we restart?
No, Dude, we already wasted time on this. We gotta cover 10 of these movies.
But I had an elaborate trap planned.
It clearly didn't fucking work. Let's just do the episode.
Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, episode 108. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm joined by the man himself, Banana Neves.
Thank you.
To my left.
Hell yeah.
And in case you didn't realize, this is the Halloween special.
Oh yeah.
And we are going to be talking about the entire Saw franchise, 1 to 10. Neves,
Yes.
I applaud you for watching all 10 of these films in an incredibly short amount of time.
Yeah, about a week and a half.
That's
I saw
fucking
all 10 of
crazy.
these. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm binging all of them. Why not?
I know you like to binge a series every Halloween, so
Yes.
so this was appropriate.
It made sense because like the 10th one just came out. We're gonna be talking about that one. I figured we make this episode a little bit longer. We go into Saw territory.
Hell yeah.
If you're a Saw fan, get in. Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up because we're gonna go 1 to 10, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Nev, as a first-time viewer of this franchise, did they get you? Are you a fan? What are your just general thoughts while you try and peel yourself?
I got it. Hold on. I'm peeling. I'm peeling it. Ugh. Holy shit. I feel like I'm reborn. Oh, man. So you're talking about Saw, right?
Yeah, Saw.
Saw.
As a first-time viewer, what are your are you a fan? Did they get you? What are your general thoughts on the Saw franchise as a whole?
It is one of the most consistent franchises when it comes to the horror genre.
Got
I've
its
seen.
style and
Yeah.
it sticks with it.
Yeah, it's not like a Friday the 13th where like the first movie sucks ass and it takes you like 4 movies to get to some that's watchable.
Right.
It's like, no, this
Or even
is,
like a Halloween where
Yeah.
it's like you take it by trilogies, right? You kind of it's like they completely change styles and this trilogy is completely different stylistically, and then you get a Rob Zombie one.
Yeah.
The Saw, every movie feels like a Saw movie.
Yeah.
When the twist happens, the music drops,
Yep.
and you're like, yes, this is what I love.
I like that. It's refreshing because you look at like something like Halloween, that franchise, and that's like going to a fucking hoarder's house.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, what is this mess?
Yeah.
Saw, it's like, no, we're simple when it comes to making the movie. It's quick.
Yeah.
And I like it. The first movie got me.
Yeah.
It's effective in its way of like showing the disturbing aspects. It establishes so many things that are continued within the franchise, like the pig mask, like Billy the Puppet, all that stuff. And it also shows great character interactions from like Dr. Gordon and Adam. Those two characters and their dialogue, it fucking works. And the twist is so good.
Probably the most effective twist in the entire franchise comes out of that first film, I think.
Yeah, one of my favorite horror movie endings, period.
Yeah, it's a great ending to a fantastic film with an incredibly low budget
Yes.
as well. This so originally this film was made as a short. James Wan
Yeah.
made it as a short with the same actor.
Leigh-Manuel and James Wan, they
That's right.
both worked together, and they both said it's just like, yeah, we didn't even think this would become a movie. We were just trying to look for like shit we could put on our demo reel.
And then here we are in 2023 with Saw X just coming out
Wow.
and getting praised. It's fantastic.
Yep.
My experience with the franchise is I had seen 1, 2, and 3 a few times actually.
Yeah.
But I never went in much further past that
Mm-hmm.
because everybody says they're absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
So I kind of avoided those, and this year was the final year. I sat with some of my buddies, and we did some viewing parties, and we got through all of them. And I gotta say, the Saw franchise is one of the best movies you could put on with a group of friends
Yes.
because even when they're bad, you can make fun of them.
Absolutely.
and it's hilarious.
I mean, I fully agree because I've seen a lot of these with some friends, and I
Yeah.
was just like, oh my fucking God. Like, you know what? let's get into it. Let's get into all 10 of these Saw movies, and if we have time, we'll go into questions.
Let's start with number 1.
Fucking A.
Saw 1. This movie, like you said, is probably the most effective twist. It gives time with those characters. You really like those characters. What it doesn't give you is much John Kramer.
No, because he's the twist.
Right. He's the twist. He was there all along. I guess he was there all along, but you don't know that until the end. But you don't really know John Kramer as a character in this film. It's more a character study of the people in the trap.
It leaves a lot into interpretation.
Yes.
And because of that, you get a lot of the sequels answering every single question.
And questions we never even had.
Yeah. Which is another thing, too. If you're one of those horror people, like I think Halloween is another example of it, where you watch the first Halloween and the reason why you like it is the mystery.
Yeah.
You don't know Michael's motivation. He's just the shape. He's very much like a killer. And in Saw, you don't know, you know a little bit of John Kramer's motivation, but you don't know his backstory.
Yeah.
The sequels, they kind of have to explain that.
Yeah, but I think they do a much better job than they did
Halloween.
with Michael Myers.
Fair enough. No. Because John Kramer is way better as a character than Michael Myers if you
He's a
explain it.
fantastic character for sure.
Yeah.
What this movie does do is introduce the signature editing style of Saw.
Yes.
With those fast, crazy cuts.
Yeah.
I think those fast, crazy cuts is most memorable in the reverse bear trap with Amanda. It introduces
Yes.
Amanda.
Oh,
the
classic.
first and true apprentice of John Kramer to me.
Yeah.
To me, John Kramer and Amanda, that's the duo.
Well, yeah.
Everybody else is like, I don't give a fuck, Hoffman. Like,
You're not a hashtag Hoffman?
no.
What?
No, I love Amanda.
I mean, yeah, she's the best one.
Yeah, for sure. And you get the signature editing style, you get the signature music that plays through the whole franchise, and you get great characters and kind of a great establishing of this world. There's a lot to like about this movie.
It's a classic. I mean, I think the one thing I was watching, because as much as I like Dr. Gordon and Adam, I feel like both of them, there's moments where it's like, okay, like the acting is like Carrie Elwes. I know you're British.
Yeah.
And I can tell, but it's fine. And Adam, the guy Layman, he's not an actor. He's a writer, director.
Yeah.
And it really does feel like that. But you know what? Fuck it. They're doing it. They're giving it their all.
That's my main critique, the performances, but
Yeah.
I think the rest really works.
Yeah, especially like the more you find out about each character, like Adam being the photographer, Dr. Gordon being like the patient of John Kramer, all this stuff happens. And, you know, the infamous him cutting his foot. It's like, damn, he's fucking in pain, and you see it, and it's like, yeah, it's great, especially that chase.
But a lot of so this one is, you get the foot cutting, and it's quite gory, but this film doesn't have nearly as much gore, and the traps don't play out like the rest of the franchise, really. Right? The traps become like an event, like in the rest of these franchises.
Well, because this film is not codependent of it.
Right.
It's not like it's like this is all we got, guys. It's like no, it's just like a tool to progress the story.
Yes. Man, I love Saw 1.
Saw 1's great.
I love Saw 1. I think if I have to critique it, I think it's the performances.
Yeah.
But fresh idea. It's a pretty scary. It's one of the most scary. It's one of the more scary ones to me. One of the more creepy ones.
Yeah.
Just because of the tone and how you don't know John Kramer yet, so it's left to the imagination.
That
of
mystery.
how fucked up this guy is, right?
Yeah.
And to me, that's what makes it one of the most scary in the franchise.
We're going into Saw 2.
Let's move into Saw 2. Personally, my favorite of the whole franchise.
Really?
I really, really love Saw 2. It's probably my most rewatched. There's just so much I like about this film. What I really love is that you get to know John Kramer, and to me, he's everything I wanted out of that character and more. He lets himself get caught by the police.
That's true.
And I think Mark Wahlberg's brother, Donnie Wahlberg, that's his name, right?
Yeah, Donnie Wahlberg, Eric Matthews.
Eric Matthews,
Detective Matthews.
Detective Matthews. He does a fantastic job as replacing Detective Tapp, who is a legend in that first film.
Yes. Well, that's the thing about the first Saw film. A good amount of the characters are fucking dead.
Yeah.
So you gotta bring in new people.
Yeah, well, they bring in new detectives so much in this fucking franchise, and I think Eric Matthews is a very memorable one.
Yeah.
And I think he gives a great performance here. I love the scenes of just him sitting across from Eric and
Yeah.
and just Eric thinking about like, because you kind of put yourself in his shoes. It's like Eric's almost powerless, even though he has the guy he's looking for right in front of him.
Yes.
And that's a really cool dynamic and an interesting premise that I think isn't explored in film too much.
Yeah.
And the way it plays out with the traps in like this escape room type house, I love that they bring back
Yes.
Amanda and introduce
Yes.
her as the apprentice in this film.
That's a good fucking twist. I love Saw 2's twist ending, man.
Yeah.
That one's good.
This one, yeah, it properly introduces John Kramer and goes into his psychology of why he traps this people. It shows Amanda, almost falling into this cult. They kind of
Yes.
explain how she fell into this cult, and she feels like she understands, and she wants people to learn as well as John, like this fucked up thing mindset
Yeah.
that you need to go through this near death experience to appreciate your life.
Yeah.
And the traps are super memorable as well.
They're pretty memorable, yeah.
To me, the hardest trap to watch in almost all the Saw franchise is that pit of needles. It sticks with me.
That's a yeah.
There's almost no blood in that scene. There's basically no gore in that scene.
Yeah.
But it's one of the hardest ones to watch, and because it's so effective, like you just can't imagine what Amanda feels like getting thrown into that pit of needles. And to me, that's like one of the most memorable traps in the whole franchise, and like one that I'm looking away almost the whole time.
Yeah.
And I like that they didn't have to use gore to make me feel disgusted and freaked out.
I think what I liked about Saw 2 was like this establishment of like it being a franchise. This is the one that kind of put a staple on it. It's
Yeah.
like, no, this is a franchise. We're really subscribing to it. We're really going all out. And I really fuck with that because of the fact that you have John Kramer. You get to see more of him. You actually get to see him more as a character in this. And you see how fucked up his philosophy is. And he's talking to like Detective Matthews and stuff. You get to see Amanda's character progress in the film as well. You don't know what her involvement is until the end.
Yeah.
And it's such a great twist. I think the one thing I wasn't a huge fan of, and I like the haunted house setting.
Yeah.
I like that it's different, but a lot of those characters, I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Right. They kind of just do like a quick flashback. Oh, this guy's a crackhead.
This guy's a crackhead. Oh wow, the guy who looks through the key the door hole or whatever gets shot in the eye. Yeah, I'm not surprised he fucking died.
But I do like the dynamic of them, like especially in the beginning when they're like working together and arguing with each other. It's like even if I don't really not too invested if these characters live or die, I just like that dynamic of them all in a room trying to figure it out together. And the rest of the franchise doesn't do that too much.
No, they definitely derail a lot of those.
They do a lot
moments.
of solo traps for the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is a cool sequel, and what a lot of times what a sequel is supposed to do is just heighten the original, double down on the original.
Yeah.
And I think this film does a great job of doubling down on the original.
Yeah.
With the traps, with the amount of characters. While still having an effective twist and giving the John Kramer backstory, which I love so much. He's one of my favorite characters in horror.
Yep, and that last shot too, when Amanda says "game over" and it cuts to John Kramer bleeding out and smiling, and then it's just like,
Oh fuck, that's
I'm
great,
like, that's-
man.
I like
great.
that. It shows how manipulative it becomes.
Not only is finding out that Amanda's in on it the whole time a fantastic twist.
yes,
Tanya Wahlberg's son, Eric Matthews' son, in the
there
safe
the whole time,
and he's telling him, I assure you, your son, if you sit here and talk to me for the rest of this time, I assure you, your son will be safe.
yes,
And when they replay that, I'm like, damn, that fucking hits.
it already happened.
Yeah.
It was pre-recorded shit. It's like when I saw that, I'm like, yo,
That shit hits. And
He
when
knew
he
all
comes out of that,
along.
when he comes out of that safe with the oxygen mask, it's a powerful shot to me. And man, I really fucking love this
One
movie.
thing-
It's
one
my
thing-
absolute favorite.
it's good. One thing I will stand by with John Kramer, he never kills kids.
Yeah.
Never does that.
He never kills kids.
That's he. So there's a sense of him psychologically having that restraint,
Yeah.
of being like,
And we learn more about that in Saw X with the fantastic kid scene, which
Oh.
I love.
Oh,
I can't
yeah,
wait
yeah.
to talk about as well.
Fuck yeah.
But
All
let's
right.
move on to Saw
Saw 3.
3. To me, this is the Godfather 3 of this trilogy.
Don't say that. I fucking love Saw 3. This is so good.
It's not terrible,
yeah.
but doesn't capture what the first two did Mostly for me for one fucking reason.
What?
Jeff. The main character,
Jeff is fine.
This guy
Don't disrespect
is
my
an
boy Jeff.
idiot.
Oh,
Jeff is a fucking idiot. So basically the premise of this film is that Jeff, his daughter gets killed in a what sorry, do you remember what it is?
son. So his son
son
gets killed in a car accident,
Yeah.
which was at fault of a man named Tim.
Yes.
Who he's been like, I want to kill him. He's getting drunk and stuff like that. That he's not respecting his life as much as he should. That was John Kramer's reason for kidnapping him. But you get that sense of feeling from not only Jeff's perspective, but also the woman helping Jigsaw from, helping him with his cancer, Amanda's perspective. And the whole film, which I agree, like Jeff, I'm not saying Jeff's a smart guy. He's a fucking moron, dipshit. But here's why. Here's my theory. This is the moment where Jigsaw, John Kramer, finally realizes how fucked up and corrupted his philosophy truly is. Because not only does he try to help Jeff, which fails because Jeff fucking kills him. Not only that, but it also fails Amanda. Amanda was his most codependent apprentice that was going to take over. And she failed too because she was corrupted as well with Jigsaw's plan.
Yeah.
Everyone was corrupted. Jigsaw finally realizes that. So he's like, well, I'm going to fucking die anyways. So I guess even if you forgive me, I'm dead. And that shows the trilogy of the Saw films kind of shows Jigsaw believing in his philosophy until the very end where it's just like, I guess nothing really did matter.
Damn. You know what? I've never thought of it from that perspective.
I looked at it like that because, yes, Jeff is a moron, and you see that in Saw 4 because Saw 4 shows how fucking stupid he is. But that's the point, is that he was not only a terrible father, but he really was like somebody who didn't understand the world around him as much as...
Yeah. So, like, this movie just follows Jeff, walking through this warehouse, and all of a sudden he'll see somebody who was linked to his son's death, and he can basically choose if that person lives or dies.
Right.
By usually he has to suffer a little bit or something.
Yeah.
And what happens is he stands there until the last fucking 30 seconds of this person about to die, and then tries to do something, and then fails and cries almost every time.
Literally, yeah. I mean,
To me, it's so annoying.
The most brutal trap was the last guy, Tim.
Which one was that?
He was the one.
Oh,
with
the one that spins with
that
his...
is
Oh,
the
man.
most brutal trap.
It's such a memorable trap.
That
This film has memorable traps.
Yeah.
I like that one is the most memorable of this film.
Yep.
I even like the pig grinder one.
Oh, that's disgusting,
one's
man. That's
fucking
fucking nasty,
disgusting.
man. Dude, that judge, in all fairness, though, Jeff and that judge were stupid from that shotgun thing.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you couldn't just like, hey, by the way, I'm going to pull this key out. You mind not?
Yeah, these guys.
Fucking dumbass.
These guys.
They're all fucking stupid.
Fucking Jeff. But you know what? Maybe you've changed my view on like the ending part. Because I always like the part. Obviously, it's cool to see the end of John Kramer, even
Yes.
though...
The end of John Kramer.
Even
He
though-
made 7 more after
Yeah.
that.
Even though it's not the end, and maybe they should have kept him alive another 1 or 2 films, if
Right?
we're being honest.
Yeah.
But that perspective of him, the last thing he sees is that his philosophy is flawed.
Yeah.
Is almost like a tragedy, a tragic ending to his story, even though he's obviously a crazy piece of shit.
Like, exactly. Another thing I liked about Saw 3 before we get to the 4th one, I love Amanda. She's great in this.
I don't like Amanda so much in this one because
What
I
the
think
fuck?
bro, she does a little bit of a 180 because in Saw 2 she's like a disciple of Jigsaw, right?
Yeah.
And she's preaching the word and she's like, I'm cured.
Yeah.
And in this one, she's like rigging fucking traps and she's salty and
Well, we find out in the other Saw films, it wasn't just her,
Right.
because they're desperate for
Right.
John Kramer scenes, Tobin Bell. But I agree in terms of the Saw 3 like twists and stuff like that. But I like
her
the
personality does a little bit of a change here,
Yeah.
I think. And yeah, I guess they kind of try to explain it later with the Hoffman
Yeah.
the letter and shit like that. that doesn't really work for me. And I wanted more of Batman and Robin, John Kramer and Amanda.
Yeah.
And it was gone a little bit too soon.
There are some shots in it, like her fighting Donnie Wahlberg and stuff like that, and he's like yelling, calling her a fucking bitch and stuff like that, and she just turns around with her bloody face. I'm like, that's an iconic shot.
Yes, it
in
is.
terms of horror films. Like I always think of Jason, like him with like his fucking bloody sword and stuff, Freddy Krueger, and then I look at that shot, I'm like, That's iconic. That fucking rocks, man. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would have wanted to see more of Amanda and John Kramer in other films.
So by the end here, we got John Kramer dead, Amanda
Amanda
dead,
everyone-
Jeff dead,
Jeff's dead.
and the girl who is the doctor taking care of him.
You guys are blown. Her
I also
head blown.
I
off.
also like that premise where she had that collar.
Oh, it's
on, and
awesome.
it's like you keep me alive. Like
Yeah.
if I die, you die instantly.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty clever as well.
Mm-hmm.
Saw 3 is solid. This is caps off a very solid trilogy.
Yeah.
A trilogy that is 100% rewatchable and fun, a fun watch.
If you want to see it as a trilogy, you can see it as a trilogy.
And I don't blame you because Saw 4.
I hate this one too.
Here we go with the fuckery is my number one note here.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't like this movie at all. They just tried to stretch. They were like, "Hey, we have the sets. We still have all these sets. Let's just make another movie that happened at the same fucking time as this movie."
It's just the cop's perspective. It's just Strom. It's Agent Strom's perspective.
Strom sucks.
He is bad.
I don't like Strom.
I
never
won't
thought he
defend
was
him.
a solid character. And now we introduce Hoffman as an apprentice, who's not as good as Amanda either.
In all fairness, though, the reason why is because at least for Saw 2, Amanda gets to have conversations, interact with the characters. Hoffman,
Yeah.
this is Hoffman 80% of the movie. He's like strapped into a fucking chair with his mouth like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
not how you
true.
do it.
It's true. It's true. They don't really give him us a chance to care about Hoffman as
Yeah.
much as we cared about Amanda.
The worst part of Saw 4, though, is the cop. Yeah, you don't go through that door. You never go through that door. And so I'm like, what is this? A fucking SNL
on.
skit, man?
It's fucking
That's That's the reason why John Kramer put him up behind like the traps.
Yeah.
He was too quick with opening a door.
It's silly.
There's parts in it where he's out of the trap and he's in public and he
Yeah.
goes to a hotel. There's a phone booth. You can call your police people. What the fuck are you doing?
It's so silly. It's so silly and so flawed. The plot doesn't make much sense here.
It's like-
And also the traps are much less memorable, I think.
the ice one.
What sticks out to me is Eric Matthews on the ice block, and he looks almost
He
unrecognizable.
looks like a fucking homeless dude.
Yeah, to me that was like a jaw drop moment of this film, and probably the only jaw drop moment of this film. Was like, damn, that's fucking Eric Matthews. Like, holy shit. Like,
What a great character arc he had. He went from being a father who didn't love his son as much to a man getting his face destroyed by 2 fucking ice blocks.
fuck, I know. I think that.
Like what?
Yeah, it's a shame the way he goes out.
He dies so like oh.
It's a shame the way he goes out, but the trap's memorable.
Yeah, it is.
The trap's memorable for sure. And the one with the knives on the face where he's got to like lean forward and the knives.
Yeah.
That one's pretty memorable and pretty gory as
Oh,
well.
that's his first victim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first-
Who's
yeah.
also stupid because he gets out of it and then fucking dies in the barbed wire.
Yeah.
And then the best is when John Kramer gets his notepad. He's like, oh, what did you fucking learn from that? He just killed himself. Like,
He's taking notes. Is like,
he took life for granted. He's telling his wife that, and his wife's just like, John, what the fuck? What'd I get myself into? Saw 4, yeah, it's bad.
Saw 4, it's a stinker. It's a stinker, and it starts kind of a stinker trilogy. Let's go into Saw 5 because I don't have much more for Saw 4.
Can I rename this? So you said Hoffman v. Strom. This is Hoffman v. Strom, Dawn of Jigsaw. That's what I'd call this film.
Jigsaw, I
yeah,
like it.
yeah. You get a little insight of. Yeah, this one's. I think I like it a little better than Saw 4.
Maybe I do.
A little bit. That's not saying much though.
I think I gave him the same rating on Letterboxd. It's
Yeah.
like it wasn't enough for me to give it even a half star more.
Yeah.
But I think I do like it a little bit more. Yeah.
I like it because it gives Hoffman a character. So you get to see him like, why is he doing this? And he's like, oh, he's taking revenge from his sister's death from the boyfriend. Okay, I get that. Jigsaw finds out he's a copycat. Okay, I get that. Are there issues? Yeah, why the fuck did Hoffman make a Jigsaw type trap? He could just kill the dude with a gun.
Yeah.
He's a corrupt cop. Like,
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. He kills people. He doesn't even really believe in the Jigsaw philosophy.
which I kind of fuck with as the films go on because it's basically like showing not only Amanda's philosophy gets corrupt from Saw 3, you can tell that she's not even following Jigsaw.
Yeah.
But so like Hoffman's like, yeah, I'm no different, man. Like I like making these traps and killing people.
Yeah.
And then Jigsaw's like, killing's distasteful.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, John, but like you ain't no fucking saint, man.
Exactly. this one. I mean, Hoffman versus Strom kind of sucks.
Well, Strom sucks. He
Strom
still
Strom
sucks.
sucks the most. Yeah, and to me, the only thing that's memorable about this is the ending.
Yeah.
with the glass coffin.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
The logic, though, it's like, Strom, you couldn't play the tape a little bit longer, man?
Yeah, like what a
What
fucking,
the fuck?
What a fucking idiot. Like,
Because the whole film, I'm sorry, Strom sucks in Saw 4 and 5, and he deserves to die. Here's why. In Saw 5, there's literal scenes in the movie where he's opening files and it flashbacks to the scene. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, we know what it is. Cuts back, it's like, you were a part of it. I knew you were a part of it, you son of a bitch. It's like, yeah, we just saw it. Why are you explaining that to us?
so unnecessary. Yeah, the writing gets real lazy here.
Yeah. You want to get into Saw 6?
Yeah, I got nothing else for Saw 5. It's a stinker, but 6
Surprising.
sort of redeems the trilogy.
I like
the
it.
second trilogy here, the Hoffman trilogy or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Oh, Saw 6. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in
Back in.
with a half decent conclusion to the post John Kramer trilogy. I think the William storyline is pretty good.
Yes.
It allows us to go deeper into John Kramer's views, and this film makes some good attempts at social commentary, I think.
Yes.
Much better than the rest.
It goes into the healthcare insurance system and how corrupt it is.
I love the scenes of John Kramer and William talking. So essentially, you're the one who decides if people live or die. I think that's like a really memorable line.
Yeah.
And the way Tobin Bell delivers it is really memorable. Tobin Bell has some great scenes in this film.
He certainly does, even if it's
Even though he's dead.
flashbacks.
Even though he's
They're
dead.
fucking dead since Saw 3. Is like, no, they put him in it. But what I really liked about this as well is like how interesting Hoffman becomes from like Saw 4 to this film.
Yeah, this is they
They
do
actually
redeem
give him
Hoffman here.
something, and it's like him getting outed by the cops. It's like, wait a minute, Strom couldn't do this. Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. And then you see Hoffman like, fuck, they know. They fucking know.
But the one scene where it's like he's caught and he starts
Yeah.
like stabbing me.
Oh, I love it.
I was just like, oh my god.
Because here's how the scene starts. By the way, the scene before that is the carousel scene, the trap,
Yes.
which I love.
Oh, I love it as well.
Perfectly written. Love all the characters. It's such a, especially how the scene ends, where it's like, you look at me when you kill me, and then he dies, and then it just cuts to a wide shot of him
Yeah.
depressed, and it's like,
That's a really good trap, a real memorable one, and one that like you said, in a short amount of time you care about these characters.
yeah. So that's a good one.
And you're playing it in your head, like you're like, oh, like who would I kill in this scenario?
And the dialogue's good too, because
Yeah.
it's like the one lady's just like, I'm pregnant, and everyone's like, no, she's not. She's fucking lying. And it's like, oh,
yeah, so it's like, what do you believe? What do you weigh? Do you weigh pregnancy over?
Yeah,
and it's like-
over the family.
Yeah,
oh, I have
like the
I have
older-
parents. I'm young.
Yeah. And it's like
deciding.
and that's what that character does for a living. Essentially, not as serious, but
Yeah.
he decides who gets the insurance, who can be insured, and who lives
Yeah.
or dies, who can get the medicine.
That's the scene I love, and it cuts right into the scene where Hoffman gets to hear the audio, and they pick specific audio. It's like, right now you're feeling helpless, and it plays over and
Yeah.
over. I'm like, okay, this is how you make a good scene, regardless if it's, I get it, it's Saw 6. You're watching 6 of these already. But it's refreshing to have a scene like that and be like, that's a well-executed scene, even if it gets a little bit over the top at the end, where he's just shaking like fucking...
Yeah, it gets over the top.
Hoffman burns the entire police precinct. I mean, no, I'm more so in Saw 7, but we'll get to that.
What else do we get here? Oh, the breathing trap is memorable. I think the one where it's like,
Yo,
when
that janitor didn't have any chance,
he
man.
never stood a chance.
What are the odds of him fucking surviving that? He's like, "Ah!"
Yeah, I just thought that was a memorable
That's
one,
good,
and
yeah.
I had the shotgun merry-go-round as well. The one
Yep.
that's the most memorable one. I also like Jill's storyline here. We get more of Jill,
Can we talk about Jill
yeah,
briefly?
which is John Kramer's wife.
Okay, well, I had to ask my buddy Sam. I was like, is she related to a producer or something? And Sam was like, yeah, they're married. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because her acting is,
Oh, she's terrible.
oh man,
She's fucking bad. She has like one expression no matter what's happening.
what? I'm scared.
Yeah.
But in terms of her role in this film, because she has to do, she has John Kramer's will,
Yeah, you finally get to see what the fuck's in
Yeah.
that box that they keep talking about, right?
which is nice, and Hoffman is just like, I'm doing this shit, But yeah, overall, I like the ending of Saw 6 too, where Hoffman escapes the bear trap, the reverse bear trap again.
Yeah. It was cool that he escaped that in a cool way. It's a good ending. It's a good twist, and like you said, it adds more to Hoffman, which they did a bad job setting up.
Yes, very much so. Which is why like Saw 6 is great, especially in comparison to Saw 7, the final chapter. The worst.
Saw 7, aka Saw 3D, aka Saw the not so final chapter, is what I call this.
Fucking sucks.
This one's a real stinker.
Oh my god.
Easily the worst looking film with the worst fucking plot.
It looks like shit.
From what I've read, a lot of the budget went to like the 3D because this was kind of like an expensive, gimmicky time of the 3D movies.
Yeah.
So a lot of this film, the sets and stuff look like a college film.
Yeah, they do.
And you could tell like the budget went into the 3D shit. And a lot of it just looks like shit. The blood is orange because of the way it's shot. Like
So
it just
bad.
the characters suck.
I think the best part, I immediately realized the public trap was filmed down, and
In Toronto, the first trap is like this public trap.
Yeah.
And it's also like this trap makes no fucking sense. It's just like a girl who's fucking two guys at once.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jigsaw, how much time do you have on your hands that you want to bring this girl to justice who's just cheating on her high school boyfriend?
Like-
it's like this is so stupid.
I'm not gonna go into like theorizing because there is that theory of like, oh, is this a Hoffman trap or a John
Right.
Kramer trap? It's like, who
Either
fucking
way-
cares? It doesn't make
Either way,
sense.
it's so stupid. Those
Yeah.
people do not deserve to be in a trap. People cheating like
Exactly.
It's like so stupid.
They could have cut that scene out entirely. I don't know. Why is it during public day?
Like originally, Jigsaw takes these people whose lives are ruined. And
Yeah.
it's like, these people's lives are not ruined. They're just high school. They're just in high school relation. Like, they're like young.
Stupid.
It's that one's so stupid. It
the
takes
best-
me out of it immediately.
The best part of Saw 7 is you get to see Hoffman kill the entire police precinct in
Oh,
the span
yeah.
of 5 minutes. I laugh so fucking hard. The guy just kills everyone.
Just kills everyone.
Holy shit. Kills Jill. You get to see the reverse bear trap actually work. 'cause it failed
Yeah, and it's
twice.
about time.
Yeah.
Fuck and man, it looks really good. It's
Yeah.
it's one
It's a
of the
good
glorious.
scene.
It's a great scene.
That ending, though. Can we talk about the ending of Saw 7?
Yeah,
I fucking hate it.
it sucks.
They recycled the twist again.
I know.
You did Amanda, good. Hoffman, Dr. Gordon?
Bro.
Why the fuck is Dr. Gordon an apprentice? That makes zero sense. You
makes
literally
zero
wasted his
sense.
character.
It sucks. It sucks so much. That one really pissed me off. And it was like the most lazy. Like, what characters we got left? Who's still alive?
Dr. Gordon is the only living character in the first Saw film. So like, okay, he's the apprentice.
Yeah, that's literally the writers' room meeting. What characters we have left? Dr. Gordon, huh? How could we bring him back?
That is such bullshit.
He's just an apprentice. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's a real shitty movie and one that I'll probably never watch again, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, no, it's my least favorite of the
Yeah.
Saw movies. Okay, Jigsaw.
Jigsaw.
What do we think of Jigsaw? I'm a little mixed.
I'm a little mixed as well. Don liked it. He told me it was one of his highlights.
Yeah.
I remember him telling me that.
Don, yeah.
And I didn't like the modern weird look that they give this film. I think one thing Saw has going for it is its style that they stick to the whole time.
Yes.
And when you change the look of Billy the Puppet, like in the scenes where he's on screen, the Let's Play game, like
Yeah.
the puppet, they change the way he looks. He looks weird to me. That took me out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a lot of the way this film looks is weird, and the characters are not very memorable, bro. Like, I like the chum bucket trap in the beginning. Where they got
Plankton. Yeah, that one is like fucking crazy. But I think the one thing I liked parts of it is just like the fanatic impression of Jigsaw. Like I like that character. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
I like aspects of these moments because you gotta like refresh it a little bit.
Yeah.
But the one thing that ruins it for me, the fucking twist, man.
Twist sucks.
That twist is terrible. They didn't just recycle it 3 times, they recycled it a 4th time
Yeah,
with a guy named Logan who was an
couldn't fucking
autopsy.
believe it.
What the fuck?
I couldn't fucking believe it.
The movie with the players and stuff like that was a flashback. That was the first time Jigsaw did that, and it sort of failed. And then Logan recreated it.
Sucked.
So that what the fuck? I hated that.
That was so terrible. I think the best scene here, and one thing that they do for Christian, we got to go a little bit longer.
we gotta go a little bit longer.
We
man.
really do.
Sorry, man.
The best scene is something they do new here is the barefaced John Kramer
Yeah.
setting up the shotgun right in front of the victims. This is something they bring back in Saw X, where
They
he's
do.
barefaced and they almost don't use the puppet almost ever.
Yeah.
So I like that. I liked seeing that, and I think that it shows that John Kramer is just as menacing when you're looking him in the face,
Yeah.
as he's doing it, and that's credit to Tobin Bell. I think It's
Absolutely.
fantastic.
I think another thing I liked about it was the woman. You didn't know why she was in until the very end. Probably the most fucked up. I was like, oh my God, they actually did that. She killed her child.
Yeah,
And I was like, I did not think, because like the Saw movies are pretty fucked up as is with the subject matter and dealing with it, but it's very much the
that's
gore.
the one that she staged like the dad rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Holy
dad rolling
fuck.
over on the child. That was fucked up.
And he got caught. Well, yeah, but like the subject matter of dealing with that is like really messed up. But the rest of the film, man, like you get this impression that it's like, okay, it's the first Jigsaw official trap. From a timeline perspective, I did research, by the way. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not going crazy.
Oh, so this is the first Jigsaw trap.
Right after the first victim from Saw 4, remember him?
So his first trap is the chum bucket.
Yes.
Okay.
Canonically speaking, it's
Okay.
the first one, which I get it. Fucking stupid, whatever.
Yeah.
Why are there flat screen TVs?
Damn.
No, fucking, you couldn't just give him a fucking old TV. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Production design. It's like, come on, guy, you could have made it like 2003.
Yeah, they
2004.
tried to make it look more modern, but it's like Saw's.
It's a flashback.
It's not doing them favors. Saw's not supposed to look modern. You could have
No.
cheaped out on it a little bit, I feel like, and
Yeah.
and it been more in line with the style leading up to Jigsaw.
Yeah, that's why I feel like Jigsaw had a lot of potential, and then like at the second half, it just kind of nosedives into, yeah, we're just gonna do the same shit.
Yeah.
It's like what? So yeah, I think it's kind of mid. And then we
Spiral.
get Chris Rock's Spiral. Dude, I don't know.
We have some mixed opinions.
I don't
about
know
this one here.
what the fuck you saw, because I watched this with my buddy Sam on Netflix, and I was like, Chris Rock was given $20 million to make a Saw film.
Is Chris Rock a bad actor?
Yes.
Is the plot of this film bad with a terrible ending?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Do I kind of only like it because Sam Jackson is in a Saw trap? Yes.
No. In all fairness, the fact that Samuel L. Jackson is in a Saw film and we get to hear him say,
It's like a
"You want
fan
to play
fiction.
games, motherfucker?"
It's like a fan fiction to me. It's like that satisfied me so much, and I think that Chris Rock is obviously terrible when he's trying to be serious, and he
my
does this weird
God.
squinty face. There's like one scene.
He's
where,
trying to act serious.
yeah, it's really bad. He's a really bad serious actor. Sorry,
No,
Chris
yeah.
Rock. I like you a lot, but
You're good as a comedian.
it does have some funny.
could be-
I think it has some funny moments earlier in the film when Chris Rock is like busting into that, like when he's doing the police work. Actually,
Yeah.
there is some funny moments, and I think the tongue trap on the subway is pretty
brutal.
memorable.
Yeah.
It's cool. I obviously immediately recognize Lower Bay Station from Toronto, where they film a lot of
Yeah.
subway stuff here. I mean, a lot of the Saw franchise is actually filmed in Toronto, which is cool. I love seeing
Quick. They
seeing
shoot it
as,
quick.
seeing as many of the Easter eggs that I can find, like as many Toronto locations I can recognize,
That's good.
and that's one of them. I think that trap was pretty memorable with the tongue just hanging there after.
Yeah.
And the wax trap, the one where the wax falls on her face and then
Oh,
they
that
peel it back afterwards. I
Yeah.
thought that was really effective as
really
well.
good, yeah.
But that's about it. I'm gonna be honest, it's
The-
not that memorable.
the-
But coming off watching Saw 3D,
Saw 3
this was a little more refreshing to me, and I could laugh at it more.
Saw 3D's bad.
Yeah.
Spiral, it's a little better than Saw 3D. I think the reason why is like, okay, first off, they do the fucking baseball cap thing again with the flashback. So you
Yeah.
get Chris Rock with the baseball cap. I'm like, come on, guys.
Oh,
We
man.
already learned that shit.
Bro, I know that was like such a fucking hilarious Easter egg. It's like, really, Chris Rock's wearing a backwards hat in this flashback? Like, come on.
Another thing too was the fact that like the twist was a copycat again,
God.
and I'm like, I'm done with these
And
fucking
a copycat that I
man.
don't give a shit about. Too.
No, because he's not memorable.
No.
His interaction with Chris Rock is so bad. The
Yeah.
dialogue just doesn't work for me. And yeah, even the ending. Like, there is some potential with the corrupt cops and the system like that they could have delved into a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess Chris Rock really just wanted to do the same shit as the other films as well. He wanted to he wanted to have his cake as well.
Yeah, the
And-
corrupt cops, they definitely could have did more with it. It would
Yeah.
have been cool if it was like a Serpico
absolutely.
mixed with Jigsaw, and these people are paying a price.
I,
But they did it wrong.
I thought Chris Rock was gonna be.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Saw
So,
X, the main event of the evening.
hold
Ladies
on.
and gentlemen, seeing a Saw film in theaters, oh my God, it was all worth it. This is the light at the end of the
Here.
tunnel. And it was so fun to watch a Saw film in theaters. It was so fun to see them go back to the style roots.
Yes.
It was sick to even see the Twisted Pictures intro
Oh, so
play.
good.
I got chills. I loved it.
dude.
Even though this film is a prequel, to me, it felt like a John Kramer swan song. It
Yeah.
felt like the writers were like, you know what? Take a bow, John Kramer. Somehow you made it this fucking far in this franchise,
Yeah.
and this film is for you. They make him the protagonist of this film. They make him likable in this film.
Well, I mean, compared to the people he's like putting in traps,
You
they're pieces of
feel-
shit.
You feel like all these people are deserving to be in these traps.
Yeah.
And you kind of want to see these people suffer a little bit for how they bamboozled him,
Mm-hmm.
but also he's kind of stupid for falling into that scheme.
No, I mean, in all fairness, it leans back into like, you know how old people get scammed and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
sure.
I'm sure John Kramer was like having that innocence with him due to his illness. And I'm like, I like that angle because it's like, oh, like that's how you can relate to him in terms of like, yeah, man, old man getting scammed. I always hate seeing that. So it's just like, that's a good case scenario of like illustrating
Yeah.
that. Another thing I like about Saw X, this is my favorite sequel, by the way.
Oh, it's so
like we'll rank them right at the very end,
Yeah.
but like Saw X is the first Saw film in a long time that gives breathing room.
Oh yeah.
They just have scenes of people like just talk.
I mean, the first half of this film, there's one trap that is just imagined in John's
Yes.
mind, and it's a memorable trap. The eyeball trap is like the one they use for the promo and everything.
That's true, yeah.
It's memorable, but they give you time to get to know these characters so that when these traps start, it's all warranted.
Yeah.
And they give you time to get into John more. And Tobin Bell gives this amazing nuanced performance here. I
Yeah.
think it's some of his best acting in all of the franchise.
Yes.
And we get, not only do we get him and Amanda, the true
Amanda.
duo,
Yeah.
back in 2023. I'd never thought I'd see this. And it's awesome. It works so well. And this is the Amanda that I knew from Saw 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's set in between Saw 1 and 2, so you're gonna
Exactly,
get that.
yeah.
You're gonna get that Amanda haircut. But what I like about it compared to prequels nowadays, especially like the Star Wars prequels and all that shit, the Hobbit prequels, is that this film is a prequel, but it does it well because you know their end. They die and stuff like that, but you get those scenes where they're together and they're like, I think we're gonna make it. We're gonna be alive. We're gonna
Yeah.
and you as an audience know the outcome, but you're like, man, this is a good fucking scene.
Yeah.
Like they're acting like really well. You get that emotion and all these characters
Christian,
that
there's
they're
no way. We
torturing.
gotta go a little longer.
I know Christian's gonna kill
Christian,
us. He's
it's-
gonna kill us in a bear trap.
It's 10
reverse bear trap. Don't worry, we got this.
Yeah.
It's such a good fucking scene, and there's so many moments of that in Saw 10 that I love.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And the traps, it does take you a while to get the setup to these traps, but when they unfold, they're memorable as fuck and they're done so well. The first real one that happens is that leg cut off.
oh, that was
with the-
good.
Oh my god, that's
That was
such a
good.
brutal scene.
Yeah.
It's so hard to watch that like halfway through it, you're like, she's fucked up, but she doesn't deserve this. Fuck, this is so crazy,
And
right?
they all die. They're like this
Yeah.
off. They're like a second off, and they're gone.
And yeah, I have here the eyeball trap is super memorable as
Yeah.
well. And then the fucking climax
Oh, it's amazing.
with John ends up in the trap with Carlos,
the kid.
the kid, man.
Yeah, man.
And you get this moment where what's being poured on them?
Blood.
It's blood?
Yeah.
Blood's being poured on them.
Blood, guts, yeah.
And then the kid feels bad for him and pulls it so that the
oh, I
kid's
got
getting-
emotional when I saw that. Yeah.
And then he's like, "No holla, Carlos.
Yeah.
No holla." And bro, I ate that shit up.
great.
At that moment, I'm like, I fucking love John Kramer, bro. This guy's goated.
Yeah, man.
It makes you really love this character. And it's a unique position, right? Because what other franchise can make you love the killer? How do they make you love Michael Myers? They can't.
They can't.
They can't make you love Freddy Krueger. They can't really
No.
make you love Jason Voorhees.
No,
But-
because they don't have characters.
But
Jigsaw
John
has,
Kramer,
yeah.
it's like you portray it in a certain light and you get the right people in these traps and you humanize him and you almost feel like what he's doing is justified at times. And-
It's still a fucked up philosophy.
course it
And they
is.
even poke fun at that because remember at the very end of that whole climax, it's like, "How are you?" I think Amanda asked him. It was like, "Wasn't exactly how I planned it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a nice wink at the camera to be like, "Yeah, John Kramer is not God. He doesn't know everything.
Yeah.
There will be faults, but." You can still showcase an interesting character that's really fucked up. And this is a great example. Dude, that final shot with him, Amanda, and the kid, and it fades to white. Because you know in the first Saw film, it goes to black.
Yeah, that's right.
What a great, we're done.
Very
we
powerful.
close the book.
It feels like a close the book, and the truth is, should it be the last film? Yeah, probably. It probably
made money, so.
It probably really should, but it made money. And honestly, my philosophy: if Tobin Bell wants to come back, fuck it. Set up the traps. Fuck it. But don't do a spiral. Don't do a
spiral.
Don't do that shit no more. I don't want to see that.
I like the fact that they didn't do the Marvel shit with like, oh, here's Jill. Like they kind of did with Hoffman at the end.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I like that though.
But that's
And
fine.
it's a post credit
Exactly. And I like Hoffman.
for the true fans.
It would have
yeah.
been worse if Hoffman was involved in the film as well.
Yeah.
Just
They
Amanda and
give
Jigsaw.
one scene where they're like, "I need your detective work."
Yes, I knew it
And
was
it
him.
pays off at the end, and
Yes.
it's great. It's
Yeah.
well done. It's subtle.
Yeah.
It gives you that nostalgia, and it's not like the Flash. Like
Oh, my fucking
nostalgia
no.
baiting. So I like it a lot. If you were to see another sequel, here's my idea. I want to pitch this real quick.
Go for it, man.
I feel like Amanda's character changes so much from 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Something maybe they can make it so that something happened in that time where John did some fucked up shit that kind of changed her views on the philosophy,
Which changed her in Saw 3, yeah.
which changed her in Saw 3. So you made John the hero almost in this film, like you make him likable.
Yeah.
Come back with Saw 11 and make him the villain again.
Yeah.
You make him fucked up, make him flawed, and have that contrast, and I think that would hit hard.
I want to see more scenes in like, in Saw 6, the flashback with Hoffman and Amanda arguing with each other. Show that. That's so good. Because
Yeah.
here's the thing. Hoffman's only doing it because he's getting blackmailed, and Amanda's doing it because she believes in the philosophy. So she's like, I fucking hate you, Hoffman. And Jigsaw does it too. And he's like, you really think it fucking matters? And then that's going to influence her in between Saw 2 and 3 is that philosophy and how broken it is. And she realizes that while Jigsaw is doing the traps and Hoffman's helping. He's like the heavy lifter. Don't show Logan, that guy from Jigsaw. Fuck him. He's lame.
Yeah.
Just Hoffman and Amanda and Jigsaw, the trio.
All right, Nev, give me the power ranking, 1 to 10, and we'll wrap it off there before I'm in a reverse bear trap from Christian.
Same here. I'm gonna die too. It's okay. Live or die. Make your choice. The first one is the best.
Yep.
Then you got Saw X for me.
Nice.
Then you got Saw 3. Then you get Saw 6. Then what is before? I think I put Jigsaw under Saw 6. I want to be completely sure that I did. I don't want to
Yeah.
fuck that up. No, actually, sorry. First one, Saw X, Saw 3, Saw 6, Saw 2, Jigsaw, Saw 5, Saw 4, Spiral, and then Saw 3. Saw 3 fucking sucks, man.
Very, very nice ranking. I like it.
Let me hear yours.
My ranking, I think, personally, I love number 2 the most. It's just pretty wild.
Fair enough.
2 is my absolute favorite. It's the most rewatchable for me. That's my number 1. Then I'm going to go number 2 is Saw 1. The original is fantastic. Number 3 is Saw X for me.
Nice.
Saw X slaps as a
It's a
sequel.
great sequel.
Then I'm going to go Saw 3.
Okay.
I enjoy Saw 3 for his ass, so I'm gonna go maybe I'm gonna go Saw 6.
Yes.
As my number
Saw 6
5.
is good.
Then I'm gonna go Jigsaw.
Wow. Okay.
Then I'm gonna go Jigsaw. Then I'm gonna go 4 and 5.
Okay,
Those
yeah.
are really bad.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go Spiral.
Spiral, yeah.
Actually, maybe I put Spiral a little higher, but I'm gonna go Spiral. 6. No, sorry, 7. Saw 7 3D. That's a dog shit one.
It is bad. It's the worst one.
And what am I missing? I think that's it.
That's
right?
it, man.
That's it.
Yeah, Saw 3D is the worst. It fucking sucks. It
Yeah.
ruins Gordon's character. I don't want to see anything post that because it's just going to be stupid after stupid. It's like, what else? Well, Hoffman escapes.
Yeah.
It's fucking ah.
We will end it off there. Thank you for watching this extra long episode of the Real Talk podcast.
So sorry.
It had to be extra long. We're talking about 10 movies here. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment that you did enjoy it so Christian will let us make episodes like this again in the future. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Happy Halloween. I hope you guys enjoy your Halloween. I hope you guys are eating lots of candy. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Brush your hair. Peace.
Happy Halloween.